Hi students, again I have come in front of you to teach Gupta Empire. In last class we have started, right? We have started the Gupta Empire and we have studied about Samudragupta's achievements, right? So in today's class we are going to learn about after the Samudragupta what happened in Gupta Empire, right? So let us rewind again. Okay, so who was the founder of Gupta Empire? Just recall the things. Okay, who was the founder of Gupta Empire? Sri Gupta was the founder of Gupta Empire. So let me write again. Okay, in last class we have studied. So again I am going to remind you. Right. See Sri Gupta, the first king, Sri Gupta. Right. So I'm writing here. Sri Gupta was the first king. So he was the founder of Gupta Empire. So after that, Ghatotkacha Gupta. Right. Ghatotkacha Gupta. So then Chandragupta first. So Chandragupta first. So after that, most importantly, Samudragupta, right? So the son of Chandragupta first was Samudragupta. Okay. So these were the kings of what Gupta Empire. So we have studied already. So Sri Gupta was the founder of Gupta Empire, and he made what Prayaga. So he made Prayaga as his capital, as we have learnt already. So and Ghatotkacha Gupta, he was also ruling from the Prayaga. That means that Prayaga was the capital city of both the Sri Gupta and Ghatotkacha Gupta, right? So Sri Gupta was the founder, and after that his son Ghatotkacha Gupta, he had ruled Gupta Empire. So after that Chandragupta had become the king of Gupta Empire, but he made Pataliputra as his capital. So as we all know that already. So Chandragupta made Pataliputra as his capital. So Chandragupta married Lichavi princess, right? He married Lichavi princess Kuberanaga, right? So after that, his son Samudragupta had become the king, and we have learned about his achievements, right? So after the Chandragupta, his first son Ramagupta had become the king. So today we are going to learn about what happened in Gupta Empire after the Samudragupta, because Samudragupta was the greatest king of Gupta Empire. So after him, what happened? So let's learn. Okay, so the son of Samudragupta was Ramagupta, right? Ramagupta was the first son. Ramagupta was the first son of Samudragupta, but he was too poor, right? He could not able to administrate the empire of Gupta. He could not able to administrate that because he was so poor king. So in the time when he was ruling, who? Ramagupta. When Ramagupta was ruling the Gupta Empire, so Shakas attacked the Pataliputra. That means that Shakas, they had attacked Gupta Empire in the time of Ramagupta when he was ruling. So but he could not able to attack against the Shakas. He could not able to defeat them. So because of the fear, he had given his beautiful wife Dhruva Devi, right? So he was having a wife called Dhruva Devi. So Shakas, they demanded Dhruva Devi. They demanded Dhruva Devi because of the fearness he had given his beautiful wife Dhruva Devi to the Shakas. It's shocking, right? So can anybody give their wife to the any others, right? So it is not a good thing. But he had given because of the because of the fear of Shakas. So, but his younger brother Chandragupta II, okay, the Chandragupta II was the younger brother of Ramagupta. He could not able to bear this situation. He got very angry on his own brother Ramagupta, because he had given his wife to the Shakas, right? So because of that reason, Chandragupta II, he attacked Shakas and he defeated Shakas. right? After that, he had killed Rama Gupta also because of that reason, because he had given his own wife to the Shakas. Because of that reason, Rama Gupta was killed by his own younger brother Chandragupta II, and Chandragupta II had married his brother's wife. Okay, Chandragupta II had married his brother's wife Dhruva Devi. Okay, so after Ramagupta, Chandragupta II had come to the rule. Chandragupta II. See here, Chandragupta first. So he was the grandfather of Chandragupta II. That means that Samudragupta was the father of Ramagupta and Chandragupta. Both Ramagupta and Chandragupta. That means that Ramagupta and Chandragupta were the brothers. But Ramagupta was the elder son of Samudragupta, and he was the younger brother of Ramagupta. That, okay. So Ramagupta, after the Samudragupta, what happened? Ramagupta had become the king, but he was too weak king. And when Shakas attacked him, he had given his wife Dhruva Devi, right? Dhruva Devi. Her name was Dhruva Devi. She was so beautiful. So Shakas demanded her, right? So Ramagupta had given Dhruva Devi to the Shakas. So because of that reason, Chandragupta II had become very angry, and he attacked Shakas and he defeated them. And also he killed Ramagupta, and he married who? Chandragupta II married Dhruva Devi, who was the wife of his own elder brother, right? Ramagupta. So let us learn about Chandragupta II. Okay, so I will rub down. I hope that you have written. Okay. So first Shrigupta, then Gatotkaja Gupta, then Chandragupta first. Samudragupta, he was the famous king, or we can call that he was the greatest king of Gupta Empire. So after Ramagupta and Chandragupta. So he was the second greatest king of Gupta Empire. Who? Chandragupta II was the second greatest king of Gupta Empire. So let us learn the achievements of Chandragupta II. Okay, let me rub now. Chandragupta II, and he had a title called Vikramaditya. Are you getting my point, guys? So Chandragupta II, he was the second greatest king. That means that Samudragupta was the greatest king of Gupta Empire, and he was also the greatest king, and also he was the grandson of Samudragupta, right? Sorry, he was the grandson of Chandragupta first, right? He was the grandson of Chandragupta first, and he was the son of Samudragupta, right? And Ramagupta was the elder brother of Chandragupta II, right? So Chandragupta II, he had a title called Vikramaditya. That means that brave, right? That means that great, brave, like that. Okay. So we can call him as Chandragupta Vikramaditya. So Chandragupta II is also known as Chandragupta Vikramaditya. That means that he had a title called Vikramaditya, and we can call him as Chandragupta Vikramaditya. Both we can call like that, right? So achievements before going to the conquest. So as you all know that Samudragupta, he had fought numerous wars like that. So he also fought numerous wars. But before going to the war, so I'm going to tell you something regarding Chandragupta. Chandragupta's cleverness, right? He was so clever in the history of Gupta Empire. So because of that reason, he made relations with the enemies, right? He made relationship with the enemies, and also he made relations with the strong kingdoms. Like he had married Naga princess, Kumara Naga, right? So Kubera Naga, right? He married Kubera Naga. Her name was Kubera Naga. Chandragupta II married Kubera Naga. She was the princess of Nagas. So as you all know that, so Nagas were the enemies. Nagas were the enemies of Gupta Empire. So in the time of Samudragupta, right? So that's why Samudragupta invaded North India. So meanwhile, he had defeated 9 kings, including Nagas. I hope that you have remembered that. right? So he had defeated Nagas. So, but Chandragupta, he was so clever. He had married the princess of Nagas, Kubera Naga, right? So, because of that reason, relationship had started. He easily what increased his empire. So, one more thing that he had a daughter called Prabhavati Gupta, right? He had a daughter called Prabhavati Gupta. Right. And he had given his daughter Prabhavati Gupta to the Vakataka king, second Rudrasena. Right? Second Rudrasena was the Vakataka king when Chandragupta second was ruling. Are you getting my words? So when Chandragupta second was ruling in Gupta Empire, the same time in the Vakataka kingdom. So in the Vakataka kingdom, there was a king called second Rudrasena. So Chandragupta second had a daughter called Prabhavati Gupta, and he had given Prabhavati Gupta to the second Rudrasena to marry. Right? Because of that reason, he got relations with the Vakatakas, and after that, after some times, what happened? Second Rudrasena had helped Chandragupta when he was fighting against the Shakas. I will tell you when I am going to teach regarding the achievements of Chandragupta II, right? So Rudrasena had helped him a lot when he was fighting against the Shakas, right? So after the death of Rudrasena II, after the death of second Rudrasena, he was the king of what? Vakatakas. Okay, after the death of second Rudrasena, so Chandragupta II's his grandson called Pravarasena. Chandragupta's grandson Pravarasena had become the king of Vakatakas. So I have mentioned here, so Vakatakas, right? So Chandragupta, so let me write here. So Prabhavati Gupta. Okay, Prabhavati Gupta, she was the daughter of Chandragupta II, right? Are you getting? So Prabhavati Gupta was the daughter of Chandragupta II, and she married what? She married second Rudrasena or Rudrasena II. Okay, Rudrasena II. See, Prabhavati Gupta was the daughter of Chandragupta II, who was the greatest king of Gupta Empire, and Rudrasena II was the king of Vakatakas. See here, Vakataka kingdom. Okay, so Rudrasena II had helped Chandrasena a lot when he was fighting against the Shakas. I am going to tell you afterwards. Okay. So when he died, Rudrasena had died. When Rudrasena had died, so Prabhavati Gupta's son, second Pravarasena. That means that second Pravarasena was the grandson of Chandragupta II, right? So who? Pravarasena. Pravarasena second, right? So he had become the king of Vakatakas, right? Chandragupta's grandson Pravarasena. That means that Pravarasena was the son of Rudrasena and Prabhavati Gupta. So after the death of Rudrasena II, Pravarasena had become the king of Vakataka. That means that so easily this Vakataka kingdom come under the control of Chandragupta II without the war. Remember that. Without the war, so Vakataka kingdom come under the rule of Chandragupta II. So earlier he had married Kubera Naga. She was the prince of Nagasena. So without the war, he got relationship with the Nagas. Okay. So same way here also Vakataka kingdom had come under the rule of Chandragupta II. I hope that you have understood. Okay. So let us learn about his achievements. That means that conquests, right? So first point, capture of Bengal. Chandragupta's achievements, okay? Capture of Bengal. So after that, raid on northwest India. Northwest India. So then defeat of Valikas, right? Yes, war on Valikas. War on, yes, Valikas. The last important point, war against Shakakshatrapas. War against Shakakshatrapas. So these were the four major points. Okay, regarding Chandragupta II's achievements, right? So capture of Bengal. See the places here. So it was the place he attacked. Who? Chandragupta II attacked what Bengal, and he conquered the Bengal. Okay, so it was the place here. So Bengal. He attacked and he conquered the Bengal kingdom. So there was a king. He was ruling Bengal. So he easily Chandragupta II easily defeated him and he conquered the Bengal. Right. So second one, raid on northwest India. Okay, raid on northwest India. See, it was the place here, as you all know, this northwest part of the India, right? So if you see here, east, west, north, and south. See, it was the place, right? Northwest place. He attacked those places. So Samudragupta also attacked northwest part of the India. But some of the poor kingdoms, he did not fight against them. So because that he knew that those people, that means that those kingdoms were too poor. But Chandragupta II, he wanted to conquer those kingdoms also, and he conquered some of the places which was left by Samudragupta. Right, in north place, he attacked northwest place and he conquered those poor kingdoms. Right, so war on Valikas. So Valikas, they were the strong kingdom. So they were ruling, right? So they were ruling in Punjab, near Punjab. Okay. So here, some of the place here, Punjab, right? So they were ruling there, and he attacked those places. He attacked on Valikas, and he defeated all kingdom of Valikas, right? And he conquered those places. So and war against Shaka Kshatrapas. So it is very important point. After the war against Shaka Kshatrapas, Chandragupta II got a title Shakari. That means that he was the enemy of Shakas. So as you all know that Samudragupta also fought against Shakas, but he could not able to destroy what Shakas. But Chandragupta II, he destroyed, okay, he demolished the kingdom of Shakas in India, right? So it was the place where Shakas were ruling. Okay, so it was the place where Shakas were ruling. So here Kathiawad and Saurashtra and Gujarat. See, these were the places: Gujarat and Kathiawad, Saurashtra. Okay, so there, what Chandragupta II attacked them. He knew that they would have attacked him because Shakas, they were the strongest kings. They were the strongest people. They can attack any kingdom easily. So because of that reason, Samudragupta also fought against them, but he could not able to demolish them. But Chandragupta II, he had demolished the Shakas and got a title Shakari. That means that he was the enemy of Shakas. Okay, I hope that you have understood. So again, I'm going to tell you capture of Bengal. So it was the place here, Bengal. He attacked Bengal place and he conquered that. So after that, raid on northwest India. As you all know that, so northwest places of India here, including Punjab, right? So he attacked. There was some poor kingdoms which were Samudragupta did not conquer them because of they were poor kingdoms. So, but he, even though he had conquered those places and he increased his empire. So after that, war on Valikas. So in Punjab state, so there was a kingdom called Valikas. Okay, so in the time of Mahabharata also we can identify them, right? So Valikas were the strong kingdom. They were the strongest kingdom. But Chandragupta II, he easily defeated them and he conquered the places of Valikas. So war against Shaka Kshatrapas. It was the very important point. So here Gujarat, Katewad and Saurashtra. So these were the places had been ruled by Shakas. They were the strongest people. So, but Chandragupta II, he demolished the kingdom of Shakas and So after the war of Shakas, after the war against the Shakas, Ujjaini. See here, I have mentioned here, Ujjaini had become the one more capital city of Chandragupta II. That means that while Chandragupta II was ruling Gupta Empire, there were two capital cities. One is Pataliputra and one more is Ujjaini. There were two capital cities when Chandragupta II was ruling Gupta Empire. I hope that you are understanding. So while Shrigupta started, that means that when Shrigupta established the empire of Gupta, so he made here. So okay, already I have told you. So there was a different capital city. Okay, there was a different capital city. So after the Chandragupta first, when Chandragupta first had become the king, he made different capital city. That means that he made capital city in Pataliputra, right? Are you getting my point? Pataliputra had become the capital city of Gupta when Chandragupta first was ruling. So after that, so now Chandragupta II, he had made one more capital city called Ujjaini. So that means that, so while Chandragupta II was ruling Gupta Empire, so there were two capital city. One is Pataliputra and one more is Ujjaini. So this is all about Chandragupta II, right? So till here we have learned about most importantly I am telling Samudragupta's achievements, right? So before that Chandragupta first we have studied about those. After that Samudragupta's achievements. So then we have studied about Chandragupta II. So clearly remember that we have to here in this lesson we have to keep that in your mind that only regarding Samudragupta and Chandragupta because they were the strongest kings, right? So after the Chandragupta II, what happened? So we are going to learn in next classes, right? So till that we have studied and today's homework. Please take the homework that write a short note on Chandragupta II, including his titles, right? Write a short note on Chandragupta II. Okay. So bye bye.